guys, how's it going? It's Miyoko. Happy New Year to you all. I hope you had a great time on Christmas and all the New Year's days and everything. So as you can see from the title, I am going to talk about Logan Paul's situation as a Japanese in Japan. If you're not familiar with this issue, I recommend the video from Philip DeFranco. I am going to link it below, so check it out. He summarized everything well. So before this incident, I didn't know anything about Logan Paul except for his brother, who I saw an interview of before on a self-development channel. So this issue is actually on NHK, like that's like a CNN of Japan, you know, in many ways. When I heard that, it did shock me a little, but we have all kinds of foreigners here, you know. So when I saw him doing something stupid, I just instantly, in my head, I categorized him as one of those crazy foreigners in Japan. There are all kinds of foreign people here in Japan, but there are certainly this like really loud people that don't know the manner, or that just think that they are in a wonderland or something, that they can do anything or something like that. What's unique about Logan Paul, of course, is that he's a content creator. He's a YouTuber. He wants to create some content that has impact, and he's always looking for some opportunity, you know, and we all know that when directed in a good way, the passion and obsession sparks, but he did it in the wrong way, I felt. So the impression that I got from Logan was that it was simply sickening and disrespectful to the victim, to the Japanese culture, including our virtue and our society and the Japanese people in general. And he didn't know what he was seeing, he didn't know how to react, and somehow he dared to upload that on YouTube. Why would he want to expose somebody's death on the world to see? Like, it's somebody's death, meaning privacy. Like, once somebody's dead, then the person doesn't have human rights anymore. I don't get it, but I kind of get it because he is one of those digital natives, you know. But clearly Logan Paul couldn't make a good judgment before uploading. Being a YouTuber myself, I kind of understand his sense, like how he feels and so on, and his passion or obsession. And you know, everyone makes mistakes, especially uploading. Like, it's kind of hard to see whether or not to post something or not. And whatever was on his mind, like, I don't know if he meant it, but he did take this apologetic gesture, posting a video and a little screenshot of his sentences to Twitter. And I hope that it is influencing his followers and subscribers in a good way. So after seeing such a gesture, me being a YouTuber myself, I was starting to feel a little sympathetic to him. His content might not be right for a lot of people, but he is doing what he thinks is right and what he's passionate for, and a lot of people follow him and so on. And on the top of that, he's very young still, and he just has a lot to learn, and he's a passionate kid. He just needs to be guided in the right way by the society. So I was trying to see the silver lining in this situation, you know. I wanted to think good about him, and I was checking how he is received using Twitter, and I read a lot of both English and Japanese tweets about him. And I saw a random person's really angry tweet calling him shit in Japanese. So in the tweet, I saw a short video clip of Logan Paul, which was shot in Japan, and I was like, click, and I saw that, and the next second I was furious myself, because the impression that I got from the content was that Japan equals toy of his content. Like, he was disrespecting all the people in Japan. Like, he bothered services and strangers, and like, he was throwing things around, screaming, running around, like all sorts of what we call meiwaku, like I don't know, troublesome. 95% of the tweets that I saw in Japanese, I would say, were all angry. People were like shocked that somebody can do stuff like this in Japan, like when they are visiting, you know. And a lot of them were saying like never come back to Japan ever. And I would say 5% were like what are you doing, Logan, you know. It was not angry, but like a little shrug-ish tweets. The important point here is that it's not only in the forest that he was being disrespectful, but also in his other videos, like in town of Tokyo. And unfortunately, that's his style. So I personally think that if he wants to make fun, positive content to entertain people, he should use his brain, but he doesn't, and he just does silly things. But it might be just me, you know, other people follow him, like thousands of them, right? So the questions that are rising, I think, is the rules or guidelines on YouTube or on social media, like generally. But we can always impose rules, but rules can backfire to us, as you already know, because defining situations are so difficult and it just doesn't work. Like, freedom should be given to everyone on this earth, in my opinion. So what we need, rather than rules, I think, is education and common sense. And another thing is that I think that we need to reconsider the system where advertisers can pay for this type of content. I mean, I'm not specifically talking about the forest one. He didn't even monetize that video, I heard. But I'm talking about, you know, the advertisers in general. They want to show their advertisements anywhere that can be seen, mostly, if it's not like the worst place. Like, they want to take the advantage of so-called influencers. By the way, don't worry about Japanese people judging the entire foreign people that come here, because we know that it's not about foreigners. We have idiots here in Japan as well, which I am not proud of, but I have to tell you. Every now and then, some Japanese idiot posts something way too stupid to get an attention or views, like, you know, doing some silly things at work. Part-time workers, they often do silly things, or they bother people or threaten people even, which is a crime, and post that on YouTube. Or yeah, this one time this guy threatened this mailman. I think it was a mailman, but yeah, he had a chainsaw, and for content. It's so crazy, but we have people like that too, so you're not alone. And if you want to learn something new about Japan, we call that sort of stupid people bakata. Like, baka means stupid or a fool. We combine baka with Twitter and bakata. They are so stupid because the action itself is stupid, but what's even more stupid is that they post that on social media like Twitter and YouTube, and that's why they get caught. But yeah, whenever that kind of stuff happens, like whenever someone posts something way too gone on social media, the rest of us start criticizing them and becomes news, and they get sometimes they can be approached by the police, stuff like that. So what happened to Logan Paul was not something to be, you know, shocked in that sense, you know, that this is something that happens nowadays. The problem of all these stupid people is that they want to, of course they have their own merits, but they just want to copy or go beyond the comedians out there, you know. But what's often talked about in Japan is that, especially, you know, the comedians on TV, they do crazy stuff. You probably know that how Japanese TV is crazy. Like, it used to be way worse before. Now it's a little moderate now, but of course I am angry at the mainstream media and how the TV field is. But TV people are professionals and they know all the rules and laws, and they do everything under all the agreements. But all these people online, they don't know the rules or laws, and they break them easily, and they don't even care because they are thinking about what's in front of them, which is views or status or money, whatever. But I do feel a little threatened in a way by the mainstream media, because we are digital natives. Like, I've been using the internet since I was 15 years old, which makes over a decade. And like, whenever there's a stupid person online in Japan, the media bashes the system or online or social media. They want to be better. They want to show that they are better and stronger and smarter than all this newborn social media people or the platform itself. So I do see the battle picture there, but they are right in a way, I think, you know. But anyway, to summarize this video, the way that I see Logan Paul as a Japanese is that it is not about YouTubers, or it is not about white people. It's not about American people. It's about an idiot doing an idiotic thing and posting that on YouTube, and the rest of channel people following him. But of course, the mainstream media can make this into some other issues whenever they want. So we should of course be cautious of that. But I just think that it's just one of those cases where silly people doing silly things and that they don't know the limit. So I basically call Logan Paul stupid or idiot many times in this video, but it's actually not my place to say he's smart or dumb or good or bad, because it's all up to one's values, you know. I'm just calling Logan stupid, immature, that sort of things, because that's how I receive him as, you know. That's just my value, which I think I should be respected for, because I want to give my opinion, not to attack him, but to feed the thoughts of you. So I've been thinking like influential people are something to watch out for, but rather than silencing them, I think that what we need to do is to guide them into the right way, or we should simply raise ourselves up. Think about it, like, why do we live in the society where that kind of entertainers like Logan and others are popular to begin with? Because we, people with common sense, are losing to them, because we're not as influential as them. Of course, they do the crazy stuff and they, of course, get followers that way faster, but like, we are not doing a good job. That's just how I think. Once you have encountered the real deal in this world, all the beauty, the actual happiness in this world, you can't go back, right? But though there are, I feel like an old woman now, but I feel like a lot of people in the world haven't been there yet, and they are falling for all these superficial things, and they just don't know the real deal in this world yet. So we need to guide them. People like you and I are here to lead those people to the right place. And that's just what I think, and that's something that I want to do with you. Like, I want to boost the levels of the society in the world. But lastly, isn't it interesting that 2 years ago, this season, like in January, early January, we were talking about the huge demonstration or protest in Paris against terrorism. It was the biggest in the world history, maybe. There were lots of presidents and leaders there, and we were talking about stuff like that, and now we are talking about some silly boy on YouTube. So the world is an interesting place. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video here, so thank you so much for watching. I'm not fortunate with advertisement situation on YouTube, so if you can, please support me on Patreon. That is such a helpful tool for me. I want to bring positivity, and I want to connect people and all the countries together. So if you want to join me, subscribe and also help me on Patreon. Let's make this year a good one. Thanks for watching, and thanks always for your support. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.